much better. I appreciate that. Well, I am here today to talk a little bit more about some real specifics of House Bill 1003, the bill that I think we all came here to really focus on and talk about. Before I start those comments, so I just want to share with you one of the comments made to me by a member of the media when interviewing me about House Bill 1003. And the member of the media said, well, I don't understand why you're opposed to this. Isn't this just a minor tweak of the existing voucher law? A minor tweak? This is no minor tweak. I'm here to tell you it is no such thing. This bill is a huge expansion of the voucher program in Indiana. As Sharon Wise told you earlier, and I'll repeat, 2 years ago, we as the taxpayers, we as the voters, and our friends up here on the third floor were sold on the idea that vouchers would save taxpayer dollars. We were told that this was because the amount of money that was spent on a voucher would actually be less than what would be spent to educate that child in the public school. Well, maybe that was true 2 years ago. But I'm here to tell you that under House Bill 1003, that argument, that sales pitch is completely wiped out. House Bill 1003 will permit students who are already in and have probably always been in private schools to get vouchers. Now, how much will it cost to give a handout to these students who are already in private schools who have not used taxpayer money for their education in the past? Well, let's take a look. Under House Bill 1003, special ed students who are currently in private schools will now be eligible for vouchers. The approximate cost of doing this to you as the taxpayers, to me as a taxpayer, is $13 million. Under House Bill 1003, the children of veterans, a good group, be they may, but their children will now be eligible for vouchers without ever having first been in a public school, without you and me, the public, ever having prior paid for their education. That will cost us an estimated $6 million per year. And perhaps most offensive of all in this first group is the cost of each voucher that's already in existence for grades 1 through 8. It is going to go up by $500 in the first year of this budget cycle. That's an 11% increase. The cost just for current vouchers for these students to receive this $500 per voucher increase is $2 million of your taxpayer dollars. You add all that together, you get $21 million in new taxpayer expenditures on vouchers, above and beyond what we've ever spent before to educate these kids who may have never been in a public school before. And let me emphasize, these are very conservative estimates. Now, that $21 million figure I just gave you does not include other costs for students already in private schools who will now be eligible for vouchers, such as children in foster care will now be eligible for vouchers. Again, even if they have never been enrolled in a public school in the past. Siblings of voucher recipients. So if you are a sibling of a child who is already receiving a voucher, you automatically become eligible for a voucher yourself. Again, even if you have never been in a public school before. And all kindergartners will now be eligible for vouchers. They've never attended a public school before. This is a huge potential expense to us, the taxpayers. It is not included within that $21 million. That makes that $21 million estimate even more conservative. Do we want our legislators to approve vouchers for students in private schools? No. Do we want them to approve vouchers as a handout to these students who have never been educated by the public dollars before? No! I want to point out to you that $21 million is more than we, the state of Indiana, spend now on summer school remediation. We spend $18.36 million a year on summer school remediation. But instead of increasing that number to help bring those students up, to help encourage those students to do better and bring up their test scores, instead we're going to spend that money on $21 million or more worth of vouchers. $21 million is 7 times more than Indiana spends on vital technology for schools in the Senator David Ford Technology Fund. That's $3 million per year. I'm here to tell you that taxpayer dollars are not being saved and will not be saved with vouchers. We do not want vouchers. Bill 1003 passes as it is now, we will continue to subsidize and increase our subsidization of private schools at the expense of public schools. This is wrong. Defeat 1003.